My name is Jordan Cade, and my partner is Jacob Gordon. We are students at Spain Park High School in Hoover, Alabama. Today we have come to talk about how PCBs affect the environment, more specifically, the effects of the famous industrial beast called Monsanto. Monsanto practiced the creation of PCBs in Anniston, Alabama, and today we have come to spread awareness of its existence.
In 1927, PCBs were first manufactured commercially by the Anniston Ordnance Company in Anniston, Alabama. The Anniston plant's legacy began in 1915 when Theodore Swan founded the company to manufacture 6-inch explosive shell cases for the U.S. Army.
Not long after the creation, problems began to become physically noticeable. Workers showed acne-like pustules on their face and bodies. Some said they lost energy, appetite, and libido. We will now be showing Gregory Cade, a partner at an environmental litigation group, telling us about himself and PCBs in Anniston.
My name is Gregory Cade. I am what you would call an environmental litigator. That is, I typically work on behalf of people or even industry if industry has a claim against another industrial insulting company, whereby the chemicals that the other company may be releasing that are being released may have some regulatory problem for the other company, okay? But for the most part, what I do, people contact me and I sue on behalf of those people when they have developed diseases, health claims, property claims, when they believe that they have been exposed to a particular substance, such as PCBs, that may have led to a development of diseases in the community or just in the environment as a whole.
Sadly, this site was not abandoned until 1977. PCBs continued to infiltrate the soil. It continued and continues to affect the community of Anniston, only 50 miles east of Birmingham.
The Anniston PCB site is located in and around Anniston and surrounding Calhoun County, and includes commercial, industrial, and residential properties in downstream waterways and floodplains.
Site investigations indicate that the vast majority of the PCBs in the Anniston area were released from operations of former Monsanto Corporation's PCB manufacturing plant.
Monsanto is a publicly traded American multinational agrochemical and agricultural biotechnology corporation headquartered in St. Louis, Missouri.
Here we have Gregory Cade talking about the general facts about PCBs.
PCBs, that's a chemically modified or chemically designed substance made by mostly Monsanto. There were a couple of companies, including Dow and DuPont at one time, that made this chemical that was essentially to be used at was going to be used as a insulating material in electrical components such as transformers. Okay. The problem with PCBs is that the chemical is so persistent that, years later, after it was developed in the 1930s, it was determined that this product was so persistent in the environment that there was no real true mechanism where this substance could be broken down. And it became a chemical that was being found not only in human tissue, but also in animal tissue and also in the environmental sector of a number of components throughout the world. The idea of Anniston PCB incidents is really not what you would call an incident because I see an incident as a one time occurring scenario where there are some people who may have properties or people that may have been affected by this particular substance. But essentially, there was a lawsuit filed roughly in 2000 or 1999 by one of my business partners. The first lawsuit was filed by a guy named Larry Wright. And Larry is, like I said, is a partner in my law firm now, and he alleged in his complaint that a number of people had suffered conditions such as cancer and health problems because they lived in the Anniston community, and it was shown that the Anniston community was heavily impacted by PCB releases over a number of years from the manufacturing facility in Monsanto, where they made PCBs and were going to be distributed throughout the world from Anniston, Alabama, and also Sauget, Illinois.
Though there have been many numerous attempts to consolate the victims of families who have been affected by PCBs, anger is still present in communities such as many efforts have been made to try and cease the spread of PCBs in waterways such as the Cahaba River, a major river that runs through metropolitan areas of Alabama. Though efforts continue, cures and significant prevention have not yet been discovered. The only way to avoid being affected is to stay away from items that are suspected to be affiliated with PCBs. If distance is kept, then living things may not be affected by PCBs.
The problem with PCBs is that it is persistent in nature in general. And like I said earlier, this chemical is so persistent that it's found in fat tissue in human and animals, and it has a profound effect on what's called biomagnification. If the chemical is ingested by humans, animals, or whatnot, the potency or the concentration of this chemical can lead to profound health effects, mostly noted in genetic dysfunctions in humans. It's been known to cause diabetic reactions or diabetes in a number of people. The science is still growing on whether or not this particular chemical can cause cancer, but there are some indications that in many aspects it has been shown to cause cancer in at least animals. Okay.